Welcome in then to the latest edition of Extra Time. Thank you as always for your tweets. Frank and Craig, Steve McManaman as well. Now, Steve...
It's all for Steve.
He volunteered to come in today.
So you mean that
How are your regret levels of that decision at the moment?
No regret levels, great to see.
to see Craig.
No, wait there. I'm not Craig, the person over there.
okay.
Nice to see you.
Right, what time will we finish?
I know what time we finishing. That was the first question.
Hasn't the show finished?
No, we've got extra time.
We have extra time. All the questions will be for you.
I don't do social media, so it's fine.
Why do Belgium always seem to come short at major tournaments with such a great team, Frank? Can we just accept that it's not meant to be?
We don't have all the explanations. It's a mature team with experienced players, so they should go further. But everybody thinks they can do further. You play against Italy at the end of the day, a very good team. So it's a human sport. It's not mathematics. It's not statistics.
Yep.
You have to prove it, and if you don't prove it, you get out.
Yep.
How do you fix time wasting at the end of games, Craig?
You add more time on.
You add it on, so it's quite simple.
Yeah. But they don't though, do they?
Yes, they do.
Most of the time they do.
Most of the time they do.
Not much.
What's time wasting? Define it.
Yeah, it's substitutions.
I know people
Well, they had 30
people
seconds.
roll around and like stay on the floor, but it's up to the referee just to say, well, that's another minute, it's another 2 minutes.
Macca, your opinion on Liverpool's current number 17, Curtis Jones?
Curtis Jones. I really like him. I think he's a good player. He has to keep on improving. But yeah, you know, I've known him for 5-6 years since the under-18s and the under-23s. And he was an attack-minded player in the under-23s. He scored a lot of goals, and he's just come away from that a little bit. Maybe because he's got Salah, of course, Mane and Firmino, and now Jota ahead of him. I'd like him to start getting back to that type of player, where he drops his shoulder and takes people on and is a bit more attack-minded. But you know, he's doing really well. His progression's great.
What do Liverpool need? What should their number one target be this summer?
Well, they brought in Kanate, haven't they, the young lads? They've got an abundance of centre defenders now. I don't know. I would like them to get a winger, you know, a certain, you could even say a Sancho-type player, but a winger, because I think sometimes when they can't break teams down, they rely on Trent and Andy Robertson to do all the hard work.
Yeah.
And you can't expect your right back and your left back to be your right wingers and your left wingers all the time. So I'd like them to get a bit of help. If you see Salah, he likes to come inside. If you see Jota, he likes to play inside. Not many people go round the outside of defenders and change the angle of the cross when games are not going well, when you can't break teams down.
Craig, what?
One of the other things with Liverpool, just briefly, is they didn't get enough goals. When Firmino or Mane or Salah is struggling,
Yeah.
they didn't last year get enough goals from the middle of the park.
It was them or bust, pretty much, wasn't it?
Wijnaldum usually did, but last year they didn't have many goals from the middle of the park, and you need that.
Yeah, you need that, but you shouldn't talk about Liverpool last season because they
No,
lost their best player.
Yes.
I mean, Anderson was injured. You had COVID. You had. I mean, that
No,
for me
didn't
doesn't
expect
make
them
any
to win the
sense
league.
to analyze Liverpool's
Oh,
game.
no, correct.
Because
I would.
that's not what they're going to show us this
Next
season
year,
if it's a normal season. That's what I
No,
mean.
I agree. And once they lost all those, I mean, playing a bulk of the season with midfielders at centre half, you're not going to compete with Man City.
For sure.
It's just not going to
For sure.
happen. But you're still going to have to get a quarter of goals from the middle of the park if your front guys are struggling.
Yeah.
Unless you've got a direct backup for Roberto Firmino. Which
And
they
the
don't
loss
have.
of Wijnaldum.
What I would
won't
say
help
is
in
I
that
don't think
matter.
Liverpool need a lot. I know Liverpool fans are panicking a little bit because they see Manchester United buying Sancho or linked with Varane, and of course Manchester City are linked with the players we've spoken about, like Harry Kane and Greaves. I don't think they necessarily need an abundance of new players. You know, everybody's obsessed with we need new signings. You only need the right signings, and if it's a centre defender or a midfielder, that's enough. You have to trust the manager.
Right.
Yeah.
Craig, why are English referees so noticeably terrible?
We have to ask the question to Mark
Who
Clattenburg.
is this?
These are people who watch, who just send in questions.
So he thinks. I wonder if he thought they were terrible before Michael Oliver's decision today. Who's that? Chut 2, whatever.
Maybe.
Anthony Taylor's been okay, hasn't he? I thought.
Is there another
I
decision,
thought,
another game?
I thought Michael Oliver's been okay, apart from today.
Yeah.
But up until then, I think there's been worse referees, I tell you that, in this particular tournament.
How many English referees are in
I think there's two, isn't there?
Two.
Two,
Yeah.
Anthony Taylor and Michael Oliver.
Yeah.
No, referees are mostly awful all the time.
Just in general.
Just in general.
Awful,
That's part
awful
of
at
their
their
job.
Awful people.
Well, sometimes, you know, I love referees that you didn't see. I think we see too much referees.
Right.
So that's a problem. You know, when you're a good referee, we don't see you because the game goes on.
But like Matteo Lajos, who loves it to be
That's the case.
Yeah.
That was perfect. And nowadays we see them too much.
Steve, given that you were a great dribbler of the ball, how impressed were you with Doku today? Should he be on other clubs' radars?
Yep.
Where is it at the moment? Rennes? Is it Rennes?
Yes. I mean, Rennes, you know, sorry to Rennes fans, but they're not a very.
I don't think we've got many.
They're not a very fashionable team, are they? So, what I would say is Doku's put an extra 20 million on his price tag, hasn't he? But there's been, you know, I thought Spinazzola's really come to the fore, hasn't he? Damsgaard's played really well, a young lad, and there'll be people looking at them trying to get in from Sampdoria. Doku from Rennes, if they can do a deal and do it quickly. But the cat's out the bag now, hasn't he? You know, he played excellent against Italy. You know, if anybody goes to Rennes, yes, he's for sale. He's now worth £50 million instead of 10 million before the game.
What are you doing? You've been fidgeting all day.
Well, this kit's coming off.
That's his,
no.
So yeah, I was impressed with him. He was nice and direct. He went on his left side for the penalty. His shot at the late on the second half, he came in onto his right foot. So he goes both ways. He's quick. So yeah, definitely.
Do you remember, Dan? Do you remember? I had a question in extra time about who I thought was the most elegant player.
Yeah.
Who was it?
Who was it?
It was him.
He should never have dribbled another ball in his life after 97 at Celtic Park, because somebody should have smashed him in two.
Hey,
when
he ran some goal.
Reckless.
He ran freaking 80 yards in the 90 whatever minute to make it 2-2. And I had the Wellington boots on in the middle. Morten Weghorst, the big Danish international. He was he's the nicest man in the world. Morten, smash him! Smash him! And he went,
just bring him down. Bring him down.
Bring him down.
Check out on YouTube. It's an incredible goal. Liverpool against Celtic, 1997.
To be fair, his left foot bend it after the good run. Stubbsy backed off him a bit too much. I can say that. He won't watch this.
Right. Stubbsy. So everyone's to blame,
right?
But you.
Well, I was trying to watch. Anyway, it was a frantic match. But he ran off behind the goal to much applause from the Celtic fans.
Yeah, remember?
Well, check it out. It was a
Who
good
do you
goal.
think Celtic fans like more, you or him?
Mark Anthony. Well, they like me.
Like the Chelsea fans. The Chelsea fans, you think they prefer?
Oh, they hate you.
They hate him as well.
No,
they hate you.
They hate me.
Yeah.
Well, what about you?
You say bad things about them.
I said bad things. No,
I'm sorry to bring this to you, but you're very unpopular with this Chelsea fans.
Don't say that.
Don't laugh when you say it, you know, play the actor, you know, Scarface.
For Frank, what's the mentality and physical state of players after playing in 2 consecutive extra times like Spain did going into the semi-finals now?
Well, I guess you just try to rest and try to recover, but you're ready for that. You know, it's part of the competition, and you know that it can happen. I think it happened to France in '96, and we went to penalties on the quarterfinal and semi-final. We lost in semi-final against the Czech Republic, but it doesn't really matter. No. You want to go until, and we had the golden goal as well. You know, we did 3 times. We did in World Cup against Paraguay, but we had the semi-final, I think, against Portugal, and the final against Italy. So it doesn't really matter for football players. At the end of the day, you want to win.
Golden goal.
Mentally, it's fine because you're so excited and elated that you've just got into the semi-final, so that shouldn't be a problem. Physically, of course. Depends if you've had a kick, if you've got to carry in a knock.
The football is absolutely,
you have to rest a lot.
you know, and credit to the English who created that game, because it's absolutely well calculated. You know, because the last 10 minutes of the normal time, you get a little bit tired. And the 30 minutes that you do for the extra time? Extra time. It's perfect to finish you, you know.
Just completely exhausted.
Well done, the English.
Oh, well done. Final question. Ask Maka if he's playing in the next Real Madrid Legends match. Depends who says no ahead of you.
Depends how much fees get. No, basically.
He needs to renovate the air conditioning.
It depends when it is, because they're trying to arrange a game in about 3 weeks, and I'm not going to play in that. But
Right.
No, I normally play in the games.
You played in a Liverpool Legends match recently, you're telling me?
I played
up against some young kids who ran a lot.
I played at Anfield recently, and we've got Liverpool are playing Manchester United in October, a Liverpool Legends match for charity, and then in November we're playing them at Old Trafford for their charity. So,
and do you like doing that? Like,
yeah, of course. Yeah.
The socialising afterwards, I imagine, the best.
Yeah, but to be honest, not much. If we play at Anfield, we'll have a meal after the game and we're home. If we go abroad somewhere, yes, there'll be lots of socialising.
But you go along really well with United players and Liverpool players.
Yeah,
no
I think
enemies.
so. Yeah, I think
when you can't run anymore, you become friends.
Macca's friendly, isn't he?
Well, he is. But he played for the two biggest enemies of Manchester United. Come on, Liverpool and Manchester City. But he still have meals with former Manchester United players.
The main thing is that you can
still... That guy is loved everywhere. At
the good thing is that you can still play.
Yeah.
I mean, I can still play. I'm still fit and well, thankfully. I'm very lucky that, my knees and everything are intact.
Right.
That's the nice thing about it, the fact that I can still play in these games, let alone be asked about.
So you're just a mess, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm okay, yeah.
No.
Like, you can't play...
Oh, I couldn't do it.
Even if you wanted to?
No. Well, I don't want to, for starters, but I mean... honestly, I mean this in all sincerity. I don't think I would be able to move properly for over a week.
Right.
I just wouldn't.
Yeah.
If you said to me it's X amount of money, it wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
Just can't.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't get paid for these.
It's for charity.
I just charity. Honestly, everybody's different.
Can you still play, Frank? You still fit enough?
I could have just a meniscus problem, and I should have a surgery, but because I'm in the play and the tour, so I cannot have it.
Okay.
But I didn't want to play anymore. I stopped, the last game I played was against Inter Milan at Stamford Bridge. We played for Ray Wilkins tribute.
Right.
But as you said, I played 45 minutes. It took me 2 weeks to recover. Now really, there is a time for everything.
I was talking to Nico yesterday, and he'd been down, Stevie, to the coast.
Right. Yes.
Over the weekend.
Yeah, he's gone to Jersey Shore, hasn't he? Hate the beach.
Hate the beach. He doesn't like the water because of the sharks.
Yes, I know. He was
anyway,
scared of crabs.
If a shark would come near, the shark would smell him in the water and go the other way. So he said, talking about fitness, he was wading in the water with the grandkids.
Right.
And he came out and he couldn't. He said, I couldn't walk because my groins were sore.
So I don't think he can play.
He's no good.
He's no good either.
Stevie in the beach isn't a mental image anyone needs. No, I don't think anyone does. That's it. That brings us to the end of today's show. Thank you as always for your questions. We'll be back tomorrow for more to reflect on, of course, Denmark against Czech Republic and England-Ukraine. Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.